In 2001, a woman named Terry was diagnosed with smoking-related oral and throat cancers. She had surgery to remove her voice box, leaving her to speak through an artificial device. Smoking ultimately led to her downfall. 2/3 of cigarette smokers die due to smoking-related illnesses, although told not to smoke. This was similar to Victor Frankenstein, who constantly was warned not to become too ambitious and play God. Due to his pride and drive for success, he continually ignored these remarks, which led to his downfall.
Frankenstein went to Ingolstadt and turned his childhood interest of alchemy towards chemistry. At Ingolstadt, he met Professor M. Krempe and started to have revelations of bringing a living form back to life. After many experiments, he finally brought back to life a human being. Shortly after seeing the monster he made, he abandoned it. This act of abandoning a creature that knows nothing of the world and barely knows how to walk and talk is like abandoning a baby. Would any of you abandon a newborn?
After being told no constantly, people began to build ambitions that make them want to do things more. This relates back to Frankenstein because he was told no constantly, so he wanted to prove these people wrong, which led to his downfall.
Of all the tragic heroes we have studied, Victor Frankenstein is the most deserving of his misfortunes because he was constantly warned not to create the monster. He abandoned him, and all of his doings were done in selfishness.
Frankenstein was consistently warned by Professor M. Krempe, who was a well-respected science teacher at the University of Ingolstadt. Throughout this time, working on the monster, Frankenstein also had many doubts on what he was doing. He knew what he was doing was dangerous and wrong, just like many cigarette smokers know that smoking cigarettes is dangerous and wrong, but they can't stop.
Victor Frankenstein was always a nurturer. He was a family man who adored his parents and siblings. When he saw the monster, he was quick to abandon him, just off his looks. The monster's abandonment is what caused the monster to go on a rampage and kill Victor's family for revenge.
All of Frankenstein's doings were done in selfishness. He didn't think about his family, the monster, or the rest of the world. He just thought of his own personal gain and success. Had I right for my own benefit to inflict this curse upon generations everlasting? Shelley, page 157. Frankenstein admits to him creating the monster for his own personal gain.
Some may say his intentions were in the right place, but he should have been trying to play God anyway. His intentions led to many deaths of his family and led to his own downfall. Also, it could be argued that the death of his mother triggered his emotions of trying to bring back to life the dead. But how is it his place to decide who gets to die and who's to be brought back to life?
I ask you to see how Victor being constantly warned, how he abandoned the monster, and how his selfishness led to the consequences that equated the crime.
Terry was deeply affected by cigarettes, causing her to have a hole in her throat and many scars on her face. Frankenstein created scars on the monster's face and soul.